Welcome to Balcony Unplugged, a place where stories unfold softly, connecting ancient truths to our everyday moments. Here, you'll discover gentle journeys that cradle knowledge in peaceful tones, like whispers at twilight. If you find calm in these tales, please like and subscribe to support more soothing explorations. Feel free to comment which story or topic you'd like us to gently tell next. In this video, we'll wander back in time to watch the friendship between humans and dogs begin, tracing quiet footsteps and warm embers as wild wolves and ancient people learn to share worlds. This journey reveals the first sparks of trust and the slow growth of companionship beneath starlit skies, where curiosity flickered between glowing eyes and gentle hands. At the edge of the firelight, in a land hushed by night, fires flared bright against the gentle darkness. Ancient humans gathered close, their faces glowing in the warmth, casting long shadows outwards. Beyond that ring of comfort, the vast wild whispered. Watching, silent shapes lingered just beyond the edge, their eyes catching every movement, their hearts steady and unspoken. The humans tended their flames with quiet care, speaking in low voices that mingled with the soft crackle of burning wood. Food sizzled in the firelight, rising to the stars in curling wisps. Just past the shimmering glow, wolves lingered under the shelter of dark branches, alert and silent. Each movement, each scent, was a message passed unseen between two wary neighbors. Stars sprinkled the night like distant campfires, shimmering above the clearing. On one side, the humans were wrapped in furs, gazing thoughtfully into the embers. On the other, wolves watched with quiet patience, their breath curling in the cool night air. A gentle curiosity mixed with caution drew them nearer, invisible lines tugging both closer to the soft boundaries of firelight. Ancient stories say that on those long nights, a silent agreement began to form. Wolves sensed warmth, the promise of discarded bones, and a world made safer by flickering flames. Humans too wondered about the silver shapes moving through the dark. In those first hidden glances, trust grew like seedlings fragile, needing only time and stillness to take root. Wind swept gently through the trees, carrying the mingled scents of smoke and wild earth. Wolves waited at the forest's edge, their eyes reflecting firelight like polished stones. The humans, though wary, shared space with these quiet shadows. Their hearts sensed a presence beyond the trees, ancient and mysterious, filled with a longing for warmth and understanding. Sometimes, a wolf crept closer, paws soundless on soft moss, nose lifted to gather the scent of roasting meat. Children pressed closer to the circle of adults, whispering half-imagined stories about the glowing eyes beyond the light. Both peoples, human and wolf, wondered if one day the quiet between them would break, if hands could reach hearts, and caution could blossom into kinship. The wild world was not always a place of fear. Beside the fire, people dreamed. They imagined allies in the shadows, companions who could howl at the moon and stand watch against the night. Unbeknownst to them, wolves also dreamed. In their silent hearts a hope pulsed, that the flicker of embers meant not just danger but perhaps an invitation to something gentler. Night after night, the gentle dance continued. Wolves circled, drawn by the promise of warmth and scraps. Humans listened, their senses tuned to movement and mystery. There was a rhythm approach and retreat, watchfulness and wonder. Curiosity fluttered between them like a quiet moth, guiding steps and sparking questions only the stars seemed able to answer. Each evening wove new threads through the tapestry of trust. A wolf's brave step forward was matched by a human's careful gesture. On windless nights, the boundary between fear and friendship grew ever thinner. Under the same vast sky, curiosity replaced suspicion, and ancient songs rose a chorus of hope shared by two watchful peoples, separated only by the soft glow of firelight. In gentle pause, the wolves sometimes settled near, drawn by warmth and memory of past kindnesses. Humans, sensing no threat, went about their rituals. The space between them felt alive, pulsing with cautious longing. It was as if the night itself was waiting, breath held, for one side or the other to loosen their guard and lay the foundation for a future woven together. Beneath tangled branches, some wolves watched with nervous eyes, while others, braver, crept within reach of the fire's edge. A dropped bone or spare scrap became an offering, a silent invitation across ancient boundaries. These tiny gifts spoke louder than words, until both people and wolves realized that sharing could bring comfort, and that every small act of trust mattered deeply. As dawn's soft glow replaced the stars, the forest hushed with expectancy. Smoke drifted upward, twining with the first golden light. The humans looked to the spaces where wolf eyes had gleamed the night before, wondering if the watchers still lingered among the ferns. For a moment, the air brimmed with possibility, and the promise of change glimmered at the threshold of the day. The earliest friendships are born not in words, but in quiet deeds. A shared hunt or a brave approach through fearsome dark spoke volumes. Even as they kept distance, both species noticed the slow softening, the way hesitation gave way to gentle curiosity. These were nights of new beginnings, where ancient instincts softened and stories slowly began to shape a shared future. In stillness there was understanding and unspoken knowing that both humans and wolves braved the same darkness, faced the same hunger, and wished for the same warmth. Each passing night tied delicate threads, weaving a tapestry far larger than either kind could see. A memory seeded itself in their bones. Together maybe, survival could be a little easier, the nights a little less cold. Far from home, under the sweep of constellations, firelight carved a shelter against the unknown. The wolves' silent forms seemed almost part of the forest itself, eyes shining with ancient wisdom. For humans, comfort came in knowing they were watched, not by enemies, but by kindred souls yearning for safety. In this meeting of wary worlds, a bond began to glow brighter than any spark. Soon, the borderland between fire and forest pulsed with new energy. Every small signa returned gaze, a softened growl erased, a little more fear. Hope settled quietly, kindling in hearts made tender by long nights. Though they could not speak the same words, human and wolf both understood some truths needed no translation, only patience and courage to welcome the unknown. And so, under ever-watching stars, the dance of curiosity and companionship moved steadily onward. Firelight and shadows became places of possibility, not only for survival, but for trust and kinship. This gentle beginning shaped the path for all who would come after, reminding us that even the smallest signs of peace can move mountains between distant worlds. At the edge of the firelight, the first friendships blossomed quietly. Wolves and humans, separated by thousands of years and miles of instinct, found connection in shared silence. As the fire crackled and stars faded, hope wove their destinies together. This was not just the start of a partnership, it was a new rhythm set beneath the endless sky, where every gentle meeting echoed through time. shared warmth, shared world. In the hush of twilight, the fire's glow flickers gently across a quiet clearing. Wolves watch from the shadows, noses searching the air for kindness and food. Humans, weary from the cold, sense gentle eyes just beyond the reach of light. An uneasy peace settles, held together by the silent promise of comfort found in togetherness. It begins with a subtle shift. A wolf lingers a little longer near the circle of warmth. Flickering flames cast dancing shapes on fur and faces, and trust grows with each nightfall. No words are exchanged, only glances and slow, careful movements. The fire, once a firm boundary, now acts as an invitation, blurring the divide between wild and human hearts. With every offering of leftover meat tossed gently toward the tree line, the air thickens with quiet anticipation. Wolves, driven by hunger yet guided by curiosity, step forward. Their cautious approach is met with patience, not fear. Each fragment shared becomes a thread in an unspoken bond, weaving stories that linger in the soft hush between breaths. Around the campfire, conversations grow softer as eyes drift to the rustling shapes beyond. The night feels safer, the cold a little less bitter. In the darkness, the wolves' presence becomes a gentle reassurance, their silhouettes watchful but calm. Humans realize they are less alone. Their fireside is no longer just for survival, but now for something tender and new. Under the vast tapestry of stars, mutual caution grows into mutual comfort. Wolves begin to settle just within the circle of warmth, their bodies curling close against the night's chill. Humans offer smiles and low, peaceful murmurs, aware of the fragile trust being built. The campfire glows brighter, wrapping every creature nearby in soft, golden acceptance. In the gentle flicker of firelight, ancient fears loosen their hold. Human hearts grow less guarded as wolves nestle nearer, tails tucked and eyes glinting with curiosity. There is no rush, only the slow blooming of connection. Even the smallest gesture as shared warmth, a tossed bone become affirmations of new companionship, reaching back to erase many years of wary distance. The night hums with a quiet wonder as the world feels suddenly more shared. Wolves no longer haunt the shadows, but become shimmering outlines beside the sleeping forms of men. Each exhale mingles with starlight. The scent of earth, embers and fur blends in a silent agreement, a pact of peace, delicate and soft as dawn's first light. Now, humans find themselves listening for the low, rhythmic breaths of their watchful neighbors. In the shelter of fire and presence, imagination gives way to trust. Wolves sense the changed tooth-welcoming tone in every movement, the absence of fear in quiet eyes. Slowly, a sense of belonging is crafted from these wordless evenings, blossoming in gentle harmony. Each night sketches the outlines of something precious. Wolves approach with tentative hope, their paws making no sound on the soft ground. A hand extends, palm up with an offering, and a bold wolf edges closer, nose trembling, heart wild but open. The balance teeters between caution and longing, guided by the desire for warmth and a morsel of shared life. Something shifts in the air. A new ritual forms. Wolves begin to wait for the scraps with patient eyes, trusting the gentle cadence of human routine. Around the campfire, a sense of togetherness swells. Each shared meal is a declaration that strangers can become compagnons if only they are willing to reach beyond fear and listen to the need beneath the surface. In this shared world, silence is heavy with meaning. Humans grow used to the quiet presence, glancing toward the wolves with softer expressions. A low whine from the shadows speaks of hope, not threat. Patience is rewarded one by one. Ancient barriers fall away as paws draw near, until wolves are part of the warmth, guardians of the flickering peace. The instinct to protect becomes entwined with the longing for trust. Wolves watch over the camp, ears perked, alert to danger. Humans sleep more soundly, soothed by the knowledge of vigilant friends nearby. Each heartbeat at the fireside tells the same story, a gentle promise linked by need, woven together by the hush of night and the comfort of company. By the third night, the once wary glances have softened. Wolves curl close enough to feel the radiating heat, their bodies resting without tension. Humans share meager food with earnest generosity, realizing the exchange brings more than safety, it brings connection. The ancient wild grows tame with each shared evening, suspicion yielding gently to the quiet rhythm of newfound confidence. Slowly, the feared wildness becomes familiar. Wolves yawn and stretch as humans poke embers, their forms outlined in the flicker of firelight. The campfire serves as a gentle Bridget's warmth, closing the invisible gap. Memories of mistrust start to fade under this enveloping glow, replaced with a cautious yet growing joy that this companionship could truly last. As the nights unfold, a subtle symphony takes shape: crackling wood, whispering winds, soft breaths. Humans and wolves share the same rhythm, a quiet dance of presence and trust. In the hush, every heartbeat is acknowledged, every careful approach welcomed. The fire stands as a circle of hope where kinship is forged, not by force, but by gentle invitation and need. The passing of time deepens this fragile alliance. Wolves regard each gesture, weighing curiosity against caution. Humans, too, discover comfort in the wolves, quiet confidence. Their presence feels protective rather than predatory. Expectations soften on both sides, allowing peace to grow. Trust is a living thing, tended every night by warmth, kindness, and 1,000 silent understandings. Even the littlest children sense the shift, peeking from their blankets to watch the wolves sleep so close. Laughter softens the air, and a sense of gentle awe takes hold. For the first time, the camp feels larger, boundaries fallen away. The wolves dream beside the humans, and in their peaceful rest, a promise is written known of lasting friendship beyond the campfire's glow. As dawn steals across the sky, both species stir. Wolves rise and shake off the night's cool mist. Humans stretch and break the silence with small, contented sighs. The day's beginning carries none of yesterday's uncertainty. Where once there was tension, now there is the quiet assurance of a partnership begun, a seed of kinship nurtured by nights of shared acceptance. Every morning, as embers fade, the memory of companionship lingers. Humans clear the ashes, smiling as they note the soft paw prints left in the dirt. Wolves pause at the edge of the clearing, eyes meeting ice, acknowledging the unusual peace now present. These gentle traces of togetherness slowly become the foundation for what will, one day, be an unbreakable bond. In those early days, the fire marked not just survival, but a gathering point for hopes and hearts. Humans and wolves both found themselves transformed by patience, by the willingness to trust. In the communion of warmth, protection, and silent understanding, a friendship quietly bloomed, etched forever in memory, a story retold in every heartbeat that dares to believe in belonging. The unseen evolution. Imagine a quiet clearing at dusk, where the light is soft and trust is palpable in the air. Over countless seasons, humans and wolves begin to notice each other's subtle signals. A soft gaze held a moment longer, a lowered head that spoke of peace, not fear. Each gesture was a language forming, crafted gently across generations. These quiet exchanges grew into a silent conversation. A shared world began to emerge, not through proclamation, but in the little moments. Kindness flickered in a gentle hand offering food, in a watchful wolf who stayed near the fire's glow. Within these hushed boundaries, ancient instincts softened, reshaping purpose and presence among friends. Trust was not built in a single day. It shimmered beneath the surface, woven by tiny acts. Each small gesturian outstretched hand, an unthreatening glance became seeds planted in the heart of both species. In this quiet companionship, boundaries once firm and wild faded, replaced by understanding born from patience and time. The tapestry of their bond grew quietly intricate. Instincts, once strictly survival-driven, began to shift. Wolves learned to read not only simple commands, but the feeling behind, a human's sigh or laugh. Humans, in turn, noticed more an ear's flick, a tail's subtle sweep, the way trust glimmered in golden eyes beneath the moon's gentle watch. Generations faded like mist, leaving behind the invisible thread that bound wolves and humans. The edges of fear softened with every nuzzle and reassurance. It was evolution not of bones and muscle, but of spirit and perception. A dance of kindness repeating so often that it shaped new ways of life. They grew together, silently rewriting the script of both their destinies. This evolution thrived on unseen exchanges. In the soft rustle of leaves, a wolf's quiet patience met a human's open heart. Over time, the two no longer measured each other as strangers, but as partners in survival and joy. The world around them changed as trust, unspoken yet deeply felt, wove them closer together with every shared moment. Instincts that once signaled caution gradually became invitations to connect. The gentle lowering of a muzzle, the calm steadiness in a person's peaceful gaze. These silent signals said, "You are near, and it is safe." In the quiet, both species learned to let go of old alarms, breathing in the possibility of friendship where fear once ruled. Tiny gestures haloed every interaction. A bit of bread shared, a soft song hummed in the evening's hush. Both human and wolf discovered that comfort could be given and received without a single word. Instead, it was found in the ways their hearts slowed and softened when they simply existed together, side by side under the endless sky. Trust is subtle and slow-growing. It curls up warm between two souls who listen, not just to noise, but to feeling. Every softened glare or wagging tail whispered reassurance, like lullabies echoing through time. It was in stillness that the greatest understanding flourished, where mutual respect became an instinct as natural as breathing in the cool night air. Through countless cycles of the sun and moon, wolves and humans transformed each other almost without noticing. The change did not arrive as sudden thunder, but as a gentle, persistent rain washing away suspicion, nurturing the growth of companionship. The landscape of their lives became forever altered, fertile ground for loyalty and love to root deeply. The greatest shifts often go unseen. Feelings became instinct, intuition grew brighter, a nudge of a nose, a shared glance around the fire each moment, a stitch in the fabric of friendship. It was in these easy silences and gentle gestures that new forms of wisdom and empathy awakened beneath star-filled skies. Sometimes change is felt, not seen. It lingers in the spaces between moments, a wolf sleeping at the threshold, a hand resting calmly on thick fur. Such small acts, endlessly repeated, carried the promise that safety was real, that past wounds could be eased. In this steady rhythm, hope took root, entwining fate with gentle certainty. The beauty of their evolution glimmered in the delicate moments. A puppy, unafraid, chasing laughter beside a growing child. An elder wolf resting near a human who whispered gratitude into the night air. Both learned that kindness is a gift that multiplies, weaving comfort and belonging from the quietest threads of every shared experience. Over time, the space between human and wolf seemed to disappear. The gentle press of a nose against a hand became a promise, a wordless agreement that neither would turn away. They built a bridge of small, consistent gestures, discovering that trust flourishes best where gentleness leads, and where patience waters every root of connection. If you listen closely, you can almost feel the echo of those first moments. The hush before approach, the tentative reaching, the brave acceptance of another's presence. Every act of courage, no matter how small, rewrote instinct at its most basic level, replacing old stories of fear with new patterns of love and understanding. The landscape of their hearts shifted, transformed by generations of shared experiences. Where once only wildness reigned, now warmth shimmered in every encounter. It was as if kindness, patiently extended and received, became a habit passed through blood and bony an inheritance of trust carried forward with quiet devotion. What began as mere survival became something luminous and extraordinary. As humans and wolves let themselves soften in each other's company, they learned a new kind of language, own, of mutual reverence and subtle joy. Each moment of harmony, though small, changed the world forever, building a legacy of gentle transformation bit by bit. In time, even the deepest instincts shifted. The wary distance faded, replaced by a longing to belong. Wolves lingered closer, humans welcomed them in. Together they created a new pattern for living, woven from patience, respect, and the quiet conviction that understanding is the foundation for all lasting friendship. At the end of every day, small gestures lit the way forward. A wolf's silent vigil at the edge of camp, a person's smile in the flickering firelight. In these ordinary miracles, evolution gentled both heart-shaping not only lives, but the very heart of what it means to belong and to trust through countless and unseen acts of kindness. So the journey continued not with fanfare, but with the gentle assurance of presence. Evolution looked like patience, felt like hope, and sounded like the soft breath of two beings at peace together. Their story is a living tapestry, woven from tiny kindnesses, where love is encoded not just in memory, but deep within every heartbeat shared. loyalty woven into life. In the hush of dawn, a gentle bond deepens. A wild companion becomes a trusted friend. No longer just shadow and fur, the wolf learns the warmth of staying close, guarding camps and hearts alike. Through patient days and silent nights, the rhythm of life shifts, entwining two worlds into one tapestry. Trust starts as a whisper and quietly grows stronger. New roles unfold like morning light touching frost. The wild edges of the wolf soften with every shared meal and every echoing laugh beside a flickering fire. Protector, companion, playmate, the ancient boundaries ebb away. Joy finds its voice in the soft thump of a tail, and every shared moment weaves the story tighter, binding two lives in hope and trust. Side by side, hunts take on new meaning. No longer rivals, they become partners, reading each other with a glance or a breath. In the quiet before a chase or the calm after, there's a shared pulsant, unspoken understanding deepening. Each moment together clarifies the bond. This is no longer survival alone, but a friendship forged through courage and patience. The playful spirit awakens beneath this new trust. Games spring forth in the gentle, dust-bounding, tumbling, wrestling with laughter echoing across the land. Through play, young paws and small hands learn each other's limits, every joyful cry cementing loyalty. Amid these simple joys, differences begin to vanish, dissolving into rituals of affection that grace each day. As seasons pass, hearts open to sorrow and celebration alike. Together they grieve for lost packmates or injured friends, each howl and quiet mourning an echo of understanding. Comfort is offered in shared silence, a nuzzle or gentle touch, uniting spirit through hardship. Grief and healing, once faced alone, now become moments that strengthen the woven connection. In daily tasks, the bond works quietly, gathering kindling, guarding sleeping children, or watching stars pierce the darkness. The once wild eyes now seek permission, eager for a job to do or a place at the fireside. Work is now partnership, and every humble act is stitched with gratitude. Familiarity deepens until presence itself becomes a comfort. Trust is tested with every gentle command and with each risky walk into the unknown. The wolf, now a faithful companion, listens for the tone of voice, a guiding thread in unfamiliar woods. Together, they step beyond comfort, finding safety in each other's closeness. What was once wary coexistence flourishes into instinctive cooperation, as ground beneath paws and feet feels warmer now. Evening shadows become invitations to draw closer. Around campfires they curl together, warmth seeping into tired bones. The rhythm of quiet breathing and the thumb's soft rhythm of fur stroked by gentle hands soften the world's edges. Friendship is felt most deeply beneath the stars, where silence speaks volumes and the scent of trust lingers in the crisp night air. Hunger is no longer faced alone. A hunted meal is a feast for two. One tosses the bone, the other waits, tail wagging with gratitude. The ritual of sharing becomes a daily celebration, folding new traditions into old instincts. Every satisfied sigh, every gleaming eye across the fire speaks of a partnership both grounded in need and lifted by affection. Play continues, evolving into more than just fun. Hide and seek in the tall grass or splashing at the edge of water, each game builds subtle rules and trust, teaching caution and care. Mutual joy flourishes and patience grows. Through gentle correction and eager praise, respect for limits shapes the relationship, crafting a language built from movement, glance, and laughter. Through hardship and calm, the bond is tested yet endures. Storms howl outside, but inside security is found in closeness and familiar presence. Each shared struggle, cold nights, hunger or dangerousness reliance. This loyalty is not born in a single moment, but woven from countless threads of shared experience, sturdy and strong beneath the weight of life's challenges. Small rituals blossom between them. A look exchanged before sleep, a bark of welcome at dusk, or a quiet vigil at the edge of camp. These simple gestures, repeated day after day, lay the groundwork for trust and mutual respect. Eventually, even the smallest habits become sacred, seamlessly stitched into the pattern of waking and resting together. Curiosity fades into comfort. What once was unfamiliar is now expected, a nudge of a nose, a soft sigh as they curl together. Companionship becomes an anchor, holding fast through uncertainty. Over time, the boundaries blur. Where pack ends and family begins, no one can say. Love, in its quiet forms, has become instinctive, felt more than understood. Through patient seasons, roles evolve. The wolf learns to soothe children's fears, to chase off shadows, to recognize laughter's call. Human hands mend wounds and offer praise, while hearts open to new forms of loyalty. Protector, playmate, guide, the list grows longer with every shared joy and hardship. Together they invent a life neither could have lived alone. Morning brings a daily ritual. The wolf, now nearly a dog, slips quietly to the door, waiting for its friend. They greet with gentle warmth, setting out on the day's journey side by side. Routine holds its own comfort, blending old instincts with new purpose. Daily partnership weaves invisible threads, drawing two spirits closer until loyalty feels as natural as breath. The passage of time reveals how deeply woven the connection has become. Friends and family alike begin to rely on this loyal companion, feeling safer in its presence. The wolf's legacy as protector shapes the rhythm of village life. With every bark or brave stand, gratitude echoes quietly, proof that trust has become a living strand in the daily fabric. Not even separation can weaken the bond. Brief moments apart bring eager reunions, soft whines, joyful leaps, delighted smiles. Absence clarifies the importance of companionship. Each greeting becomes a reaffirmation that this loyalty is not fleeting but stitched tightly into every day. Through absence and return, affection is expressed, more precious for the absence that came before. Over fireside stories, children and elders alike recount tales of rare devotion and bravery. Stories grow, inspired by the wolf's watchful presence, here, living legend in their midst. In these gentle hours, imagination and gratitude intertwine. Their protector is more than an animal, it is a cherished soul, an indispensable thread in the community's ever-growing tapestry. In quiet moments, eyes meet and a language unspoken is understood. A gentle nudge or soft gaze carries more trust than words ever could. During moments of doubt or fear, this silent communication forges courage. Loyalty, once tenuous, now dwells deep in the heart, the surety that, in the wild or at home, they will always face life's journey together. As the sun sets, the story of loyalty endures. What began as a tentative alliance is now an instinct woven through flesh and memory. Through play, work, grief, and joy, the ancient thread of trust twines ever tighter, stronger with every shared moment. In this partnership, the essence of true friendship is revealed, resilient, gentle, and infinitely loyal, forever part of daily life. Love that lives in our bones, under soft starlight and the hush of centuries, the timeless bond between dogs and humans quietly endures. This story closes with a gentle meditation on friendship's roots, inviting you to reflect on the miracle woven through every wag and gentle nuzzle, an ancient promise echoing in shared joy, trust, and the warmth that calls us home together. Love settles quietly, like dawn's first golden rays in the heart. Through countless eras, dogs and humans have shaped one another until the spirit of loyalty became part of who we are. Each playful bark and patient gaze tells a tale stitched into our bones, a secret song of comfort and companionship always humming in the background of our lives. This friendship, more than a chance meeting, is a miracle gently arranged over millennia. Just as bones remember every leap and bound, our spirits remember the faith offered and received. Each outstretched hand is met with a wag, a wordless agreement that love is never lost, only transformed, growing deeper with every shared sunrise and quiet walk side by side. Step softly into gratitude for the partnership that shaped us both. In ancient fireside shadows and sunlit gardens, our trust flourished. Dogs teach us joy in presence, contentment in simplicity, and hope in a loyal friend's eyes. As our stories entwine, we find that peace comes gently, curling up beside us, asking nothing yet, giving everything in return. There is a quiet promise at the root of this relationship, patient and resilient. In every joyful reunion or unspoken comfort, we feel echoes of the first wolves who trusted. It is a twinning of destinies written not in words but in gesture-soft muzzles resting gently in hands, and hearts learning the beauty of steadfast devotion year after precious year. Imagine the ancient campfires where hopeful eyes met and fear softened into trust. Today, that warmth lives on in every companion curled at our feet. Love, in its purest form, asks only to be noticed and returned. Through generations, the gift is the Sameya friendship grown strong and bright, promising that neither loneliness nor sorrow need endure for long. With each heartbeat, we carry a memory of shared adventures. The leaps through tall grass, the patient eyes waiting at the door, the comfort found in simple presence. Loyalty blooms quietly beneath the surface, binding us in ways words cannot describe. Each day spent together is a gentle affirmation. You are here, I am here, and love surrounds us. Weaving joy from ordinary days, this bond invites reflection. Think of laughter brightening rainy afternoons and trust bridging moments of trembling uncertainty. Friendship flourishes not just in grand gestures, but in the quietest acts. Soft paw on a knee, a slow wag, a look that says, without a word you belong and you are loved without condition. It is in the simplest moments, morning stretches, shared meadows, evening sighs, that our companionship finds its truest shape. Generations have spun this golden thread, twining our stories together so tightly that the echo of one heartbeat answers the other. In the hush of night and the warmth of day, a legacy of trust gently endures. Every joyful greeting, every patient watch through the window strengthens the lifelong promise made eons ago. This connection goes far beyond instinct or need. It is a choice made again and again to lean into love. As time gathers softly around us, gratitude swells, knowing much of what makes us whole is found in this shared companionship. Reflect on the gift of understanding born in centuries of shared living. Dogs read the language of our hearts, offering comfort in sorrow and celebration in happiness. Their presence brings a gentle anchor, reminding us that, no matter how the world changes, loyalty and affection await us, ever present, ever steadfast, beside every fire, in every home. As you rest, imagine kindness woven into the fabric of your bones, a legacy of gentle trust that reaches back further than words can travel. In every contented sigh and playful leap, we remember the first spark of recognition, the quiet decision to stay. This story, written in two hearts, endures as long as love itself. Even now, as life unfolds and breath slows in the night air, the companionship woven through our ages speaks softly. We are forever changed by loyalty so complete it shapes our very beings. Let your spirit echo with gratitude for every paw print pressed beside your own, every lesson in joy and patience given without expectation. Feel the peace that comes with knowing you are never truly alone. Across the years, through storms and sunshine, the promise between human and dog never falters. Together we navigate joys and sorrows, finding shelter in shared warmth and solace in a partnership born of trust. This gentle love remains a lamp illuminating even the darkest paths. Pause and breathe in appreciation for the quiet miracle that is this partnership. Beyond spoken language, beyond need, there is a loyalty so deep it shapes generations. It whispers that love is ancient and enduring, ready to greet us in every wag, every gaze, reminding us that peace can be found in simple companionship. With each gentle pat, each shared moment of calm, the story of our partnership is renewed. The days together are a treasure trove of small, miraculous, silent, steady gifts of trust and devotion. Let your heart settle softly into this truth, that across time and change, we remain bound by a friendship truly unique in the world. At the close of this story, let gratitude fill your mind like a warm sunrise. In every silent exchange, each patient watchfulness, and all the laughter scattered like leaves, there is an enduring message: we belong to one another. Through seasons of sorrow and delight, love has quietly guided us home again and again. As the ancient partnership continues, reflect on its beauty, a bond freely given and never asked for in return. Through every shadow and every celebration, dogs and humans shape each other's worlds. Allow yourself a gentle smile, knowing that the loyalty glowing in a companion's eyes is the echo of love's first promise, still strong with every passing day. This lasting bond is not fragile, nor is it loud. It endures in the peaceful cadence of footsteps in tandem, the comforting press of warmth at your side. In moments when hearts feel heavy or days seem dim, remember the ancient promise. Within every friendship lies a quiet hope, steadfast, unwavering, waiting to be noticed and cherished. Let your thoughts rest gently on the beauty of shared existence. Here, at the close of our story, peace settles like a hush in the twilight. The friendship between humans and dogs is proof of love that lives in our bones, steady and enduring. Carry it with you, knowing this companionship is both a gift received and a joy to give.